Alright, so we're really close to the end. It says 98%. Supposedly 12 minutes left on this print. What I want to talk about is what this print is for. And I have a bunch of other printable RC car shells that are pretty awesome. Same as this sort of super inspired puzzle looking car. And what I mean by puzzle looking is that you can either print it as one piece, or you could print it as separate pieces, much larger. Like you could make this 10 scale because it has like little shapes of puzzles that fit together. So printing it as one piece should be easier than printing it as separate parts, unless you use a lot of supports. Because without, like, printing it as a whole does not require any supports at all. As you're seeing right now, this prints as one piece and you're all done. But if you decide to print this as separate parts, you know, like this would be one part right there, that would be another part right there, and so especially if you print it out really large, you're going to need a lot of supports, and then you'll do a lot of Dremel work later on. So something to think about. But I have a lot of other bodies. This one again is super inspired. I have like a Honda, I have an Austin Healey. But the idea is once it's printed, to mount it on a WL Toys chassis such as this, or a Kyosho Mini Z chassis like this, or anything really. Like you could mount it on a New Bright, on a Jada Toys, and you know, the sky's the limit. But what needs to happen is that I'm going to make a standard for these things so that things match up exactly. So if you see here, if I was to put it, I printed it a little bit larger than it would be in real life. You see this one kind of matches up here. See, this tire kind of matches up there, and this one kind of matches up there. So I think this, for this chassis, it's quite good. You see here, at this particular size and everything, on this chassis it might work, but on the Kyosho Mini Z, the wheels would not match up at all. See that? These should be like down here, and so I'm gonna have to create a standard file for each of these, and I think that's where I'm gonna ask my friend Steve, because he's very good at doing this kind of stuff really on the fly, to help me measure out the chassis and create a file in Blender that then I can use to sort of eyeball and create standards for these things. So we can have like the Kyosho Mini Z chassis standard, and we can have the WL Toys Mini Z standard, and then I can have all these files up on my CG Trader, and people can just go ahead and, you know, buy them. Everything is rather cheap on there, like somewhere in the range of 10-15 bucks. You can get yourself a 3D printable shell, and then you can go from there. People can just print them out, comfort of their home. They don't have to go out and buy it. They just have to have a printer. And printers are getting really cheap these days, you know. A printer like this used to be like 500 more bucks, but now if you look up online on sales, sometimes if you're lucky you can get one of these things for like 200 bucks. So it's no longer really out of people's reach. And if manufacturers started being intelligent and selling these things with proper dual cooling to start off with, people wouldn't go nuts trying to figure out how to do these things. For instance, if Chinese companies started to be a little bit more intelligent and stop trying to sell these things on, you know, foreign websites and start selling these things on Walmart and eBay, which they have started to do, then they become a lot easier for people here in the US to buy, and you know, 3D printing will become far more mainstream than it already is, which would be great. It just would be great. Do a little bit of cleanup here. It's getting there, 99%, 99%. So yeah, as things progress, 3D printing will become more mainstream. And really all you need to be able to 3D print well is to have one area of the house, be it the garage or the kitchen, where it's all okay to be loud. And you hear this printer running, it's really not loud at all. It kind of has like a dancey rhythm to it. If you listen to the only thing that's mildly loud is the fan, but it's not really loud. It's really like white noise, really. I've had one of these things running in the room, and you know, just listen to it and it makes you fall asleep because it's so monotonous. The sound is just so monotonous that you could sleep through it. And the other thing is, for instance, when it's running in here, if you close the door to the kitchen, you can't even hear it out there. That's how quiet these things have become. Not like the first printers that were out there, which were super noisy and messy. These things have gotten so much better. And this is not even the quietest printer, I think. Once I'll have the other one that's in the garage, that's even quieter. The Delta style printers can be even quieter, especially the good ones. Anyway, it says 7 minutes left. Gosh, I really messed up the settings here. This should not take this long. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.